Hello. A few days ago I opened my Bible at random and I came to Isaiah chapter 40, verses 18 to 31, and I'll read you some extracts from that. Have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Hath it not been told you from the beginning? Have ye not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting God, the Lord, the Creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary? There is no searching of his understanding. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fail. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. This passage is saying how powerful God is. He is the Creator, who sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. Many people would say that it is absurd to think about stretching out heaven like a curtain. Many would argue that this is pre-scientific thinking. Indeed, many deny that God is the Creator at all. In the US, I know, there are problems regarding the school curriculum between creationists and evolutionists. We don't have these problems in Britain, at least not at the moment. But there are, and always have been, many prominent scientists who believe in God. They do not see any conflict. And there isn't one if you focus on the central point. God created everything. Once you accept this, the argument is only about the exact method he used. As an analogy, imagine someone has fixed your car that wasn't going. You don't worry very much about how he or she did it. All you care about is that it's fixed. Or suppose we consider a mobile phone, cell phone in the US. I have one. I use it. It works. I'm happy. It's only a subsidiary point how it was developed. So there are those who say God could have chosen to use evolution as part of his creative activity. I don't know if that's so, but the essential point is that he has produced us and everything we can see around us, including whatever we can see through astrotelescopes or through microscopes, everything from the smallest atomic particles to the most distant stars. And in verse 28, Isaiah says that God fainteth not, neither is weary. There is no searching of his understanding. God's strength and his understanding are beyond our comprehension. People try to put themselves in God's position, nevertheless. When there's a natural disaster, they say, "Why does God allow that?" Or, "If I were God, I'd do things differently." They would not allow evil actions by human beings, nor the death of children, nor drought, nor earthquakes, nor floods, volcanoes. Why does God let us live in this imperfect earth? If he created it perfect in the first place, where did evil come from? It's a question philosophers and theologians have always asked. But some of the ideas in the Bible about what is perfect may surprise us. We're accustomed to looking at mountain scenery and saying how beautiful it is. For example, the Jungfrau in Switzerland, or Mount Fuji in Japan. And what about the Rockies or the Grand Canyon? But Isaiah says, in the earlier part of this chapter, that in the future, when the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low. In other words, a completely flat land is portrayed as desirable. No hills at all. This shows us that we can't just imagine God as another human being with the same tastes as us, but just more powerful. We actually can't think our way into God's mind. But if we trust God and submit ourselves to Him, then He will give us strength. Verse 31 says that we will mount up with wings as eagles, run and not be weary, walk and not faint. God will give us strength to deal with daily problems and even with big problems, such as the death of a loved one. He will give us the inner strength and courage to struggle against adversity and evil, including the evil within ourselves. And perhaps we should gratefully accept this help, not inquiring too deeply into the how and why He does things. If it's true that there is no searching of His understanding, it's pointless to try. Our rational minds may enjoy exercise, just as the muscles in our bodies do. But people who get very enthusiastic about discussing arguments against the existence of God, but are not really interested in other philosophical or theological questions, are not just exercising their intellects. They're looking for justification for a decision they have already made, that is, to abandon faith in God. Faith and trust in God is not a matter which can change at a whim, or be fashionable or unfashionable. It's something deep and fundamental within us. No amount of argument can shake it. And it can give us strength, so that we mount up with wings as eagles. I'll end by quoting from the beginning of a hymn. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus than to trust and obey.